Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Hope you are okay on that side of the screen. And today here I am with a very interesting Android TV box from a brand that grew up with us, at least with my generation and a few more generations, and that's Nokia. And we are back. So really happy to see that Nokia released this Android TV box, which is awesome. Really interesting features that I will share with you in just a few moments. And I'm really happy, especially because it's a brand that at least my generation grew up with it, and a few more generations. And at this moment they have a lot of devices, but this one is one of very interesting things that we see here on the channel. And of course I did post on my Instagram a picture about my phone, the 6210, which is, well, it was my favorite phone and I could never get rid of it. Now this is something that, for those that love technology, do understand why we keep these things. And it was very important at some point of my life. It was a great device, and at this moment I know that Nokia has some great devices, mobile devices, but I'm really happy that they evolved, and that at this moment they are evolving to other areas such as streaming boxes. Now what this box has in terms of interesting is that it works with everything, or almost everything. Now let's start with the remote before we go into the box itself. First of all, the remote is very well built. The plastic is great. It's not that cheap plastic that we find on some boxes. I would say that it has a premium quality right over here, well designed, ergonomic, and with a lot of details. And when I talk about details, I'm talking also about the shortcuts that we have here for YouTube, Prime, Netflix, Google Play, and the voice assistant. By the way, it has voice assistant, so we can just call out something and Google Assistant will answer it for us, which is just awesome. And one really important thing to me is the backlight situation. It has backlight keys, which is just great. If we are on a dark environment, then it will just activate when we press a button, and that is just great. So the remote control was the first thing that I was quite impressed, because it's not the usual remote that we find on Android TV boxes. Now, taking a look at the box itself in terms of the connectivity, and first of all in terms of the hardware, it's using a SoC that it's not new to us here on the channel. We have tested some machines with it. It's the AM-Logic S905X3, which is a great SoC with 2 GB of RAM and 8 GB of flash storage, really fast storage, and 4K at 60 Hz is the maximum resolution that we'll be able to do it. It has Android TV OS version 10, so Android 10. This is, in terms of hardware, what I can say is that we have tested some machines in the past, and this is capable of everything. Now the only question when we see this hardware is it the firmware well implemented? And at this moment I can say that yes, and I'll show you a few images in just a few moments. Now in terms of connectivity, we will find a USB 3.0 and then a power input jack, Ethernet connectivity, HDMI, AV out, optical audio out, and USB Type-C. And USB Type-C is something that is not very usual to see on the devices. We can charge a phone, we can use it for storage and so on and so forth. Talking about storage, probably it's one of those things that you will say, hey, only 8 GB, I would like to install a lot of games. And in my opinion, this configuration right over here, which is common, 2 GB with 8 GB of flash storage, I would say that it's more than enough for 80%, 90% of the users, because we will only use it as a streaming box, just to install the apps, and that is it. For those 10-20% that really want to take advantage and play, because it has a great hardware, you want to install a lot of games, emulators and things like that, then the solution is to expand the storage via USB 3.0 or USB Type-C. And you can use a simple USB pen drive of 128 or 256, or you can use a hard drive of 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, things like that, depending on your needs. So I do believe that it will fit most of the needs. And if the storage is something that will concern, no. After Android 6, we were able to do on these devices the storage expansion, so no issues at all right over there. Now, in terms of the overall performance, what I can say is that in terms of the storage, it's very quick, because it's one of the bottlenecks on some boxes. Here, I do not find that. I do browse quickly, I can move from app to app without any issues at all, and this is just an awesome overall experience. In terms of tests, I did test out the Wi-Fi connectivity. Maximum that I could get was 216 on download and 125 megabits per second on upload, on a connection with 500 download, 500 megabits of download and 100 megabits of upload. So the connectivity in terms of Wi-Fi was just great. In terms of RG45 or the Ethernet connection, it's a 100-100 connection, so that was the maximum that I could get. And if you are wondering, hey Robert, I would love to have a gigabit connection, yeah, we have seen some devices with gigabit connectivity, but the point is that even if we go through a really heavy streaming video, MKV, Blu-ray and so on and so forth, 100 megabits per second will be more than enough for that. But yeah, it is 100. Would I love to see 1 gigabit? Yeah, of course we love to see beating up on the maximum, but it is a stable connectivity, so if you want to game stream, which I'll show you some tests in a few moments, you will be more than fine. Now, moving to Netflix and other services, 4K without any issues at all, as I was expecting, and using either Wi-Fi or the Ethernet connection will be just more than enough. We can fast forward, rewind, which is something that some boxes do not like, and this one was really okay with it, and that is it. And this is a repeated message for the other services. I did test out Prime Video and it was just great. 4K, really fluid, nice playback, great colors, by the way, using a display from Philips, 32 inches, really nice. And I also tested out Disney Plus 4K fluid, so just a repeated message. The experience is just awesome right over there. Now, I did test out one of the services that we have here in Portugal regarding the online TV channels, and it was from Novo, which is a very well-known company here in my country, and the experience was really smooth in terms of changing channels and in terms of using it. So this will be the expectation that I have for any other service that it's available on a different country to mine. But just to say that IPTV right over here on an official app from a TV provider works just awesome. Now, I also tested out YouTube, and once again, really boring message, but the truth is that it works just great. 4K without any issues right over there. I did also try Plex, MB and Kodi. Now, Plex and MB, we know that the video is transcoded on the server side, and when it reaches the box, everything is transcoded. But I do test out Kodi because Kodi takes full advantage of the hardware inside each of these devices, and what I can say is that playing huge files, MKV 1080, no issues at all. And I was playing through the network as I always do. I do not store anything on the box, everything is on a network attached storage device, NAS, as I do have a few, for those of you that follow the channel, you know. So the experience was just awesome, and this is the reason that I can say that if you want to use Wi-Fi, you have a great Wi-Fi, then you will be just fine. If you want to use the RJ45 connectivity, Ethernet, then you will be more than fine with 100. If I wanted to use it for speed tests all day long, then probably I would prefer a gigabit, but to the real world usage, then just fine. Now, moving to gaming experience, I did play out Asphalt 8, Asphalt Extreme and similar things to that, and what I can say is that the performance is as expected to this SOC. It will be able to play anything that is available on the Play Store right now without any issues at all. The only issue that we can find, once again, is regarding the storage. If you want to install a lot of games, then you will need to expand the storage through a USB drive or a USB disk. Now, talking about gaming, but a different type of gaming, and we are talking about game streaming, which is basically use one of these devices to play games from our computer. We have the computer on the network, and we have done a lot of tests right over here. If you want to know a little bit more, just search on the channel for game streaming, and we have done it on all of operating systems. Now we just need a computer on our house, on our network, and then when we play Steam Link, we just need to grab the computer and it will make the game run, and we will be playing on our living room or on our bedroom or anywhere else on the house while the computer stays on the basement. Doesn't matter where, and the experience is just awesome. Through Wi-Fi or through the Ethernet connection, I was able to get 1080 resolution at 60 frames per second. I was playing a game which is really fun, Gas Guzzlers, and the experience was just awesome. The only thing that I do notice sometimes on different machines, not only this one, is a few milliseconds with a little bit of image degradation, but that has to do with the streaming capabilities and the streaming technology that we have at this moment. And this happens with also some official services that I've tested in the past, like GeForce Now and things like that, so no surprises right over here, but the experience was just awesome. Now finally I did 2 more tests, well actually one divided in 2, which is it has to do with our phones, the capability to streamcast or mirror our phone screen to the TV, because if I want to show a picture, if I want to show something that I've got on my phone, it's something really nice to do. I can just share the screen while holding my phone instead of giving my phone to a family member or something like that. So the tests were just great. If you have an Android phone, you will be just fine. You can use Screencast to do that. If you have a phone like mine, iPhone 11 Pro, then you can install AirPlay, which is one of my favorite apps, and you will be able to mirror your screen or screencast to the TV. Now in terms of screencast, I wouldn't use it that much on any box, because and this one has everything. It has YouTube, it has Netflix, it has everything, so I don't feel the need at least to screencast from my phone to the box itself. But to show content on my phone, like photos and things like that, then makes total sense. And guys, this is it. Really happy for several reasons, one of which is a brand that it's iconic, a brand that has grew with us, at least my generation, a few more. It's great to see that they care about the products and that they develop things that have quality. This is awesome. And that is it. If you still have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. I will answer as best and as fast as I can. Hope the video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget the usual thumbs up right over there. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.